Welcome to the City of New Bedford's Arts and Culture program. My name is Lee Heald and I'm the director of the AHA program, and each second Thursday of the month, AHA, which stands for Arts, History, and Architecture, hosts an open night in downtown called AHA Night. It's from 5 to 9, it is family friendly, and the whole downtown is open and available and accessible and welcoming and celebratory. You've got to come down and join us. This month's AHA Night, September, the theme is It Came From a Book, and each month has a different theme. So this month's theme is It Came From a Book, and we're going to look at some reading efforts, some authors, some programs that go on with reading and authorship downtown. We're going to look at the narrative of New Bedford. We have a poetry reading. There are a variety of things that will be going on in downtown New Bedford, so you should really come down and join us. To talk about that, on the show today, we have Laura Orleans from the Working Waterfront, who's going to talk about a book they've published called Voices of the Waterfront. We also have Art Tebbetts, the troubadour of New Bedford, who will be introducing us to Thatcher Harrison and his dad, Stan. And Thatcher is an 11-year-old prodigy, so I think that you will enjoy that performance absolutely. We'll also be looking back to August, Dancing in the Streets. It was a wonderful night downtown, great scenes. You'll be sorry that you've missed it, but you can look forward to next year and coming and joining us. And so have a seat and enjoy the show. Today we have with us Laura Orleans, who is the director of the Working Waterfront, to talk about a project which has had a lot of heart and soul of New Bedford go into it. So welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
The theme of AHA in September is It Came From a Book. And so as part of the programming, we're kind of looking at the narrative of New Bedford, the stories that come out of New Bedford, the stories that go into New Bedford, and the general climate of reading and both the spoken word and the written word. And so you've done this wonderful project kind of capturing some of those narratives in a book that will be available on AHA Night, just a little promotion on the side. So could you tell us a little bit about the book?
Sure, absolutely. It's called Voices from the Waterfront, and that's exactly what it is. Over the past 10 years, we've actually been collecting oral histories of people in the fishing industry, and so we've done, I think, 110 or maybe even 120 interviews at this point.
So when you say oral histories, do you go out with specific stories or questions for people?
We have a sort of a guided list of questions. Okay. And it's sort of a combination of life history, and then depending on the nature of who the person is and what their experiences are, the questions change a little bit.
Okay,
so if
so there's some themes.
Exactly. I mean, if it's a boat, a fisherman, it's going to be different questions than if it's a fisherman's wife or if it's a shoreside worker.
So there are a whole series of people and experiences.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the things that I've found fascinating, and that I think people would find fascinating in the book, is that when you think of the fishing industry, the first person you think of is, right, a fisherman.
Fisherman, right.
But there's a whole network of people around that fisherman that support him, including all of these shoreside businesses. So here in New Bedford, we've become a hub port, and so we really support all of the things that go into a boat leaving the harbor and coming back to port with a catch of fish.
Like?
Ice and fuel and the auction and
the building
and lumpers.
Lumpers, okay.
People don't know what a lumper is probably. Okay. So a lumper is the person that unloads the fish from the hold once the boat returns to port. So it's a lot of sort of manual labor, forking the fish, putting them in a bucket, so to speak, and it gets hoisted up into the auction, sold at auction.
So we have an auction house here.
We have an auction house. I mean, so there are all these sort of fascinating, kind of somewhat archaic things that continue.
Right.
Settlement houses. Fishermen are paid much the way that whalemen were paid. Huh. It's a share system, so you don't really know when you set out to go fishing what you're going to bring back. You don't know what you're going to catch. You don't know what the price is going to be. Exactly. And so when you get back to port, you sell your fish at auction. The amount of money that that you make from that sale goes to the settlement house, and the bookkeepers at the settlement house figure out, they pay all the bills for you, that ice and that fuel, and
from each boat.
From each boat. And then the money that's left over gets divided. And if you're the boat owner, you get a larger share than if you're just a deckhand, you know. And if you're an engineer, you might get a larger share than if you're just a deckhand.
So those stories come out in the book?
They do. And so what we felt was when we started the festival, we kind of knew it was going to be a very evocative event. That, for example, old timers might come down to the docks not having kind of set foot down there for many years, and all these memories would come rushing back. And we thought, well, we should capture this, exactly. So initially it started as an effort to really document some of the older people in the community and make sure that those stories weren't lost. And then over the years, you know, the idea was really to try and touch on all the different aspects. There are many different ethnic groups that are part of the fishing industry, and so that's touched on in the book. There are many different, you know, jobs, as we've sort of mentioned. We didn't talk about fisheries scientists. That's another piece. So we've got Kevin Stokesbury's in the book from SMAST. So it's really kind of runs the gamut. And what I always try to say to people is it's not, it's representative, but it's not definitive. It's not everybody. So there are plenty of stories. And then, so what we did was we did these oral histories and then kind of culled through them to find, you know, people who would represent the different aspects. And then from those, we took the excerpts. There's not much editing except that we pulled out pieces. But
so it's very readable.
It's very readable. It's almost, I would say it's like a coffee table book. And the way that the book actually came about was we had been introduced to a photographer and we had done some projects with him. He's based in Connecticut and his name is Markham Starr. And some years ago, probably 2008 or 9, he called me up and he said, I know you've been doing oral histories, and gee, I've done, you know, some books about other ports, Point Judith and some ports up in Maine. I'd love to do a book about New Bedford. And he's really a photographer, and he said maybe we could team up. And that was really the genesis. And so basically he took these gorgeous to die for photographs of people in their places of work. And he has a way.
They are gorgeous. I've seen the presentation when the book first came out.
And what he likes to do is he photographs in black and white. And I think what he talks about when I've heard him talk is that if you go to a fisherman's house, they have photographs of the boats they've owned and fishing trips, all these old photographs that go back in their family's history, most of them black and white because they go back some years. So he's really trying to kind of recapture that in these contemporary photographs.
Nice. So while you're here, the Working Waterfront Festival kind of owns the end of the month of September and everyone gets excited about the programming. Can you say a little bit about the theme of this year and the kinds of things that will be going on?
So this is the 10th year of the festival. We're all kind of stunned that we've survived and continue. So really the theme is it's the best of 10 years, and it's an opportunity to look back over the decade, not only just in terms of the programming that we've done, but also in terms of changes in the industry over time.
Huge.
And kind of looking ahead as well. So a little bit of a retrospective. We've had themes every year, and people have kind of gotten used to there being a theme. So this year the idea is to take the best of those programs. So there will be some programming that looks at fishermen and farmers, and some programming that looks at the role of women in the industry, and some programming that highlights safety. So it's, you know, a lot of the things will be familiar to people who've been in the past. There will be man overboard demonstrastrations highlighting safety.
So if you haven't been, you know, I mean, it's
sure.
If you've been, you know all these things. But if you haven't been, it's an open, free, family-friendly festival, which happens on
September 28th and 29th.
So Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday.
Last weekend.
The very last weekend. It starts with whaleboat races at 8 in the morning. Which the best viewing point is the end of State Pier. And then it really the festival proper starts at 11 o'clock on both Saturday and Sunday, runs until 6 on Saturday and until 5 on Sunday.
There's music.
There's music. There's food, obviously. How could you have a seafood festival without food? Not only is there food that you can purchase and, you know, come down and have a delicious lunch, but we have a cooking demonstration area. So people love this. They hang out, you get samples. We have galley cooks, we have professional chefs, and we have people from the community who share ethnic approaches to cooking seafood. You know, the way that an Azorean person makes codfish is very different from the way a Norwegian person does. So opportunities to learn. Yes, delicious.
And then people sometimes can go on boats.
They can go on lots of boats. This year, we're very excited. We have a boat coming up from Mystic Seaport that's a restored Eastern rig, which it's a wooden boat. It's the old style boat, and it was lovingly restored over about 7 years. They're bringing her up. She's called Roanne, and every time I mention, people, you know, in the industry are like, oh, Roanne.
Well, I used to work at the seaport, and
there
she
you
was
go.
not saleable, so
There you go.
that's fun.
So
Oh,
that's very
great.
exciting, and people will be able to board Rowan as well as a modern-day scalloper, a modern-day dragger. We're hoping for a tugboat. We haven't solidified that yet.
Right. That's great for kids to be able to really get that experience of, so often we look out on the port and there's coming and going, but you don't really always get that experience to kind of be out on the water, to kind of see that in back of the scenes.
And you know, you mentioned kids. I think that what works for kids really works for everyone. And so the festival is designed to be very hands-on. You know, and you can certainly come and sit and listen to music, but you also can have opportunities to get on boats and to engage. You know, talk to people in the industry about what they do.
So it's at State Pier.
It's actually at State Pier, and then the piers north and south. The pier just north of State is called Fisherman's Wharf, and that's kind of where the main stage.
Is that Pier 3?
Pier 3 is the other. People may know it because the Wharfinger building is there, or Wharfinger, depending on your. And then the pier just south is called Steamship Pier, and that's just sort of where the Bourne Counting House is. And that's where our contest stage is. Very exciting.
So if people want more information,
they can go. We have a website,
which
and it is workingwaterfrontfestival.org, and the full schedule of events and a map are all posted on the website.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming in and letting us know what's going on in New Bedford.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Arts on Acushnet. We have a fabulous party going on here tonight. We've closed off Acushnet Ave and we're having a neighborhood block party. We've got El Caribe playing in the back. You can certainly hear them. We've got some great food that's out here on the street, and we are having a good time. This is all part of celebrating the arts organizations that are here on Acushnet. We've got Gallery 65 on the corner with William. We've got Kroll's Fine Art and Framing right here in the middle of the street, and Artworks is just beyond. So the three organizations decided that we wanted to bring everyone into our neighborhood tonight for a party. So we've had great weather. The rain never materialized. It's a nice breezy evening. We've got tons of people, and we're having a great time.
I'm Art Tebbetts. I'm the host of the weekly open mic at Cafe Arpeggio. It's located at 800 Purchase Street in the heart of downtown New Bedford. And it's been my pleasure for almost 9 years to host this wonderful open mic. We have performers of all different skill levels, from professionals to people who are just getting started. All different age groups, all different musical abilities, musical loves. And one thing we all have in common is we love the music and we like to share it. And what better place to share it than at a friendly venue like the Cafe Arpeggio. So come on in, have some soup, have a sandwich, have some of their homemade ice cream, even better, you'll love it. And sit and listen to some music. We have people that come every week. They sit, they sketch, they draw. They will listen to the music. We have musicians who come every week and sing us a new song or sing us a song they've been working on or sing us some old favorite. We have some people that pop in once a month. Some people come by every 5 or 6 months. It's a while between visits, but we're always happy to see them. And the best thing we do, I think, is on AHA night. On the second Thursday of every month, we have a featured performer that we chose from our best of open micers. And this month in September, we have one of my all-time favorites, Stan and Thatcher Harrison, the Brush Your Teeth Band. We love Stan and Thatcher. Thatcher's been coming to us since he was about 5 years old. The first time we saw him, we thought, wow, this kid's got something. He's great. And he is great. He's something special. He's just about to turn 12. And you will not believe what he plays the guitar like. He's a very talented instrumentalist. He's a wonderful singer. He and his dad have great fun on stage. They bubble with personality. They have a wide assortment of music they like, from old Beatles to Donovan to Dave Brubeck to jazz standards. He's just starting to get into Charlie Parker, so we'll see where that's going to lead, but I'm excited. Every time he comes, we always have a good time. They come back on a regular basis. We always like to see him because at that age he changes from visit to visit. So it's really fun to see what changes have come, not only musically but physically in the last year. He's gotten a foot taller. It's been cool to watch. So we're really looking forward to that. They're going to be on at 6, play until 7. And I guarantee it's an evening you're going to remember and you're going to talk about for a long time to come. Then at 7 comes our weekly open mic. And I host that every week, and we have a variety of performers, as I've said, and I never know what it's going to be like. People say, what are we having this week, Art? I never know. We'll see who comes through the door. But I can tell you it's always fun, it's always filled with surprises, and we have the nicest audience any place you'll ever find. So come on in and be a part of that audience, or better yet, come play to our audience. You're going to love it. We'll have a good time. We're at 800 Purchase Street, Cafe Arpeggio, and we're there every Thursday night, and we do it special on AHA night. So come on down and say hi. Right now, I'm going to get the heck out of the way, because I'm sitting right in the middle of the stage, and we're going to give you a preview of Stan and Thatcher Harrison. They're going to do a song for you, and you get a feel for what they're like. And mark my words, you're going to be pleased. You're going to be surprised. It's going to be terrific. So let's get started.
In my spine, love is the kiss that lights my way. Love is the song that lifts my heart. Love is the dance that gives me joy. All at once, the crowd did part when I saw you, angel heart. I knew. Then I thought about, yes, I thought about our love. You see, baby, you and me. Then I thought about, yes, I thought about the way it could be. I said, I love you, I do, maybe I always will. I love you, I do, maybe I always will. And if I saw you standing in the rain, I would be your sunshine, I would warm your day. I'd say today is love, love is the sunshine of our hearts are free. You're my angel, sparkling dreams to come true. Love is a smile that lets you fly. Love is the kiss that lights your way. Love is a song that lifts your heart. Love is a dance that gives you joy. All at once, eyes met mine when you saw me, angel heart. I knew. sha-la-la, oh, sha-la-la, oh, sha-la-la, oh, sha-la-la, oh. All at once, our time was through. The light turned green and you slipped from view. Hearts break down, hope breaks down, faith breaks down, lost my chance with you. Hearts and angels, dreams and prayers to come true. Love is the smile that lets me fly. Love is the kiss that lights my way. Love is the song that lifts my heart. Love is the dance that gives me joy. All at once, the crowd did part. When I saw you, angel heart, I knew. Then I thought about, yes, I thought about our love. You see, baby, you and me. Then I thought about, yes, I thought about the way it could be. I said, I love you, I do, maybe, I always will. I love you, I do, maybe, I always will. And if I saw you standing in the rain, I would be your sunshine, I would warm your day. I'd say today is love.
My name is Chuck Smiler. I'm a volunteer with the schooner Ernestina, and we're here at AHA Night to celebrate the return of the Ernestina in 1982 as a gift from the Republic of Cape Verde to the people of the United States. To do that, we're going to illustrate Cape Verdean street music. The theme of AHA is dancing in the street, so we have a small group, a trio, that's going to play just informal music the way musicians might get together on a street corner and jam. I think we have some dancers who are going to join in, and then we have a street drum group that will lead a procession from here around the downtown, dancing in the streets, down to the Verdean Vets on Purchase Street, where another group, a dance band, will take over and play for a couple of hours for more dance music. All of the music and artistic parts were coordinated by Tony Cruz, a New Bedford resident, who's a good friend of the Ernestina. Schooner Ernestina Morrissey Association is here, and they'll have information about the Ernestina and what's up with that. So have fun. We're going to dance our shoes off here and walk around downtown.
Good afternoon or good evening. We're blessed to have wonderful weather. My name is Neil Weiss, and I am the president of Fiber Optic Center. and Whaling City Sound. Fiber Optic Center operates out of 23 Center Street here behind the Whaling Museum. And for the last, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years, in cooperation with AHA and on AHA nights in the summer, June, July, August, September, we present live music free as part of AHA night. And we've had some fantastic musicians. Tonight we're blessed to have a young group from graduates of Fairhaven High School, recent graduates, called Buffalo Caliente, and they play kind of a funk. It's a young person's music, but I think older people can relate to it also. AHANewBedford.org is, I think, the website that gives you the entire schedule. WhalingCitySound.com, like the animal Whaling City and the city, lists events and also the CDs that we have out. We put out CDs by some of these artists. We don't have these guys signed yet, but we'll see about that. Next month we have a tenor saxophone player from the Boston area named Benny Sharoni. He's terrific. The rhythm section is unbelievable. John Lockwood on bass and Steve Langone on drums. And piano player, guitar player, we don't have a name yet, but Lockwood and Langone are two guys at the top of the game. So it will be a wonderful evening of jazz next month. Tonight will be funk and rock.
We hope that you look forward to joining us in September, and if it's not September, it needs to be October. Because on 10/10, October 10th, which is the second Thursday this year, we'll be hosting a program called Walkabouts. So it's things that are happening on the downtown streets, it's walking tours, and we've also joined with New Bedford's Department of Parks, Recreation, and Beaches to do something called Parkabouts. So we'll be taking parking spaces out of commission for the day of AHA and inviting artists to do installations or programs in a variety of parking spaces, and then we'll have a map so you can actually walk about to see the parkabouts. And I think it's going to be fun and fantastic, and I hope that you're able to join us some month, because it really is your New Bedford, and it's a great way to see the city. Bring your friends down, bring your family, or just enjoy yourself. So please join us sometime.